guys, this is Kirk here with Soft, and we are close to free agency this year, and there's going to be contracts that the Penguins are going to have to re-sign. So, Soft, which player are we starting with first to discuss?
Alright, so let's start off with Brian Rust, alright? Because that's in Kirk, and kind of my opinion, best underdog, kind of, maybe. I'm kind of leaning towards away from that, but it's whatever. We're going to start with Brian Rust.
Alright. So Rust, he's a second liner, and he plays with Crosby sometimes on the first line. He has really good chemistry with Malkin and Kessel, and even Crosby and Getzel, or Sherry sometimes. So for Brian Rust, we all know what he can do. He's fast. He's really good at stepping up, especially in Game 7s. He can get some really good shorthanded goals by deking out a goaltender. So what do we re-sign Rust to? Here's my estimates. I think we re-sign Rust to a $3 million contract or $3.5 million. I think that's the highest.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
Well, look, because we got Jake Getzel next year, who's going to be wanting a pay extension, and I think he's going to ask for $4 million or $5 million.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Getzel, though, what Jake Getzel are you going to be getting? Because I noticed this year Getzel was not putting up numbers this year in the regular season much, but in playoffs he's an animal. It's going to be a gamble when it comes to Getzel. I know Getzel's going to keep getting better. Everyone, I'm not hating on Getzel. He's good. He's going to be one of the futures. But I know Getzel's going to keep developing. But what Jake Getzel are we going to be getting out of this contract?
I don't know. I'm hoping that he might do better because, like you said, he wasn't all that good during the regular season. But hey, this year he might kind of step up, do a bit better. And hey, it might pay off. It might pay off in the future. We don't know. We'll really just have to wait and see.
Well, we gotta wait until next year though, because 2019 is when his contract ends. And for Getzel, I'm hoping to God this year he has a successful regular season and playoffs. I want to see Getzel put up some huge numbers, and I think Getzel next year will put up 60 points because he's just gonna keep developing at this moment. So yeah. I think Getzel estimating will make $4 million or $5 million next year, and Rust we give $3 million or $3.5 million. And
yeah,
Rust,
that sounds about right.
Because I do not want to lose Rust this year, especially with the way.
Honestly, neither do I.
All right, next person we talk about, and this one's a big one that I'm worried he's going to be asking for money. And you know who he is, Soft. He's your favorite young guy so far.
Ooh. Dude, we're just gonna have to be hopeful, alright?
Tell me, what's his name? He starts with at a D and ends with an S. You've forgotten. He's that Dutch player.
That Dutch player?
Yes. It's Sprong, for crying out loud.
Sprong?
Yeah. Sprong's Dutch.
Really?
Yeah, Sprong's Dutch. He's the first Dutch born.
I did not know that. Alright, well, it's Sprong. Oh my god.
The way I look at Sprong this year, he came up once, scored 2 goals, and then got sent down. What I've noticed with Sprong, he's not that not smart, but I think he's careless a lot of times when handling the puck, and especially.
Yeah, he's like that one guy that's like really tough, but like kind of like he doesn't really know how to process a lot of stuff. He just does it, and I don't know whether he scores a goal or not. He doesn't really care. He just does it.
Well, with Sprong,
so, I don't know.
He's going to be wanting a raise this year, but
yeah, most likely.
But Sprong hasn't played a full year of NHL yet. Yeah, I think it would be a bad move to give Sprong like a $3 million or $4 million paycheck when he hasn't put it up the numbers. But I'm sure Sprong knows that he hasn't. I say the estimate we signed Sprong to, I think a 4-year contract, $600K for 4 years. I think that's the maximum. But hitting $1 million only give him $1 million for 2 years.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
will that settle well with Sprong? I don't know, dude.
Well, Sprong is probably going to be getting tired of being sent down to the AHL, because I noticed near the end he was starting to develop. He was putting up numbers. He finished first almost in the AHL scoring. But when it comes to Sprong, he needs to be going next year, because we can't send him down to the AHL like we did before, because he'll be claimed off waivers. And waivers is something where you send down a player, for those who don't know, to the minors, but they have a 24-hour thing, but if they're picked up, they go to a different team. They take that player. So I'm hoping to God Sprong can step up. And Jimmy Rutherford has said Sprong will be a main guy next year.
Yeah, and I won't be that surprised either since he said that, because again, Sprong, he might not be that intellectual, but he's still a good player nonetheless. You know what I mean?
He's going to be
So, yeah,
good. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
He's going to be with Getzel years from now when Crosby and Malkin are too old and Kessel's gone. That we're going to have a new era of NHL for the Pens. We're going to have Sprong and Getzel.
Yep.
All right, moving on to another guy, getting past some big guys. Connor Rowney, a Fort Wayne centerman who came from the AHL in 2017, played a good chunk of games, was a good part as a backup and a good penalty killer at that time. What did we do with Connor Rowney? Move him or re-sign him? I know you said move before in our personal chat. Do you still agree we should move him?
I'm not sure. It'll be a gamble either way, but who knows?
Well, if we re-sign him, nothing at $1 million, because he's 28, going 29. His young days are almost over. I think he's the oldest NHL player to make his debut. I love Connor Rowney, don't get me wrong, but he's not a bad player. He's just not a great keeping up with some guys, because this is a fast game.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't blame you. He's just...
because it's a fast game. Because this is a fast game. Hockey's getting faster every generation. So yeah. So Connor Rowney, resign or just let him walk?
I think let him walk, dude. I don't know.
Well, if we let him walk, we'll have some extra money if he makes like $600,000 to.
Exactly. Yeah.
And plus, we already got a Fort Wayne centerman backup. From Carolina this year. I forget his name. He starts with a J, but Jimmy Rutherford got him, so that guy can be used. Alright, moving on to the next person. Tom Kuhnackel. That's a great penalty killer forward, plus a really good Fort Wayner. What do you do with Kuhnackel? Move him or re-sign him? I think we need to re-sign him. Bad. What do you think?
I'm not sure.
Well, I love Kuhnackel. Like, he can really do some stuff. He's a good penalty killer. Dekes some people, especially like Rust. And we're about to die, but it doesn't matter. We're turning the lobby, but I estimate we re-sign Tom Kuhnackel, because he's going to be wanting a good pay extension. So, let me get my calculator. I think we re-sign Kuhnackel maybe $1 million or less than $1 million. That's the maximum.
$1 million? Yeah, I don't know about $1 million. I think that's kind of sticking. I say 600, 700K. Somewhere around that ballpark, maybe 800 at the most.
Well, he's going to be wanting a pay extension, because when you win Stanley Cups, because when you win Stanley Cups, people want more money. And we saw that last year with Wooz and Bonino and all those other guys. They wanted pay extensions.
Yeah, you're right.
I think we re-signed Kuhnackel. I think we need to get that player going again.
Yeah.
All right, Jamie Oleskiak, a player that we got from Dallas during the season, who became a defenseman, who's really good at shooting and can play D really well. And he's tall. That guy is huge, Jamie Oleskiak. When we brought him in, he brought size to the Penguins. So I'm all in to resign Jimmy Olesiak. So
Yeah, same.
you remember especially watching games like him when people are going near the boards and how his size can prevent people from getting through. And plus he's
Yeah.
oh, don't forget about. Plus he's a good fighter. He can bring an edge when we're getting blown out. We saw him what he can do.
Yeah. Which hopefully doesn't happen, but yeah, you're right.
So yeah, I think Jamie Olesiak, 1 million or 1.5 million, the max.
Yeah, I'll say 1 million. I'll say 1 million on that.
All right, moving on to the next player, and this is a player that a lot of people really don't like much. Is Simon, Derek Simone. Do we let him walk or resign? I like him, but he doesn't.
I think didn't I say to re-sign him once? Pretty sure one of you.
Well, he's young though. He's young though. But he doesn't have good hands when shooting. But he was playing with his thumb injury during the playoffs. But I don't think he should be on Crosby's line next season. I really think he should be.
Yeah, you've got a point, but I don't know.
I want Crosby and Simon to play just so Crosby can teach him and mentor, but I think Simon, we don't, not even close at 1 million yet. Not even close.
Yeah, I agree with that. I say 500.
You better not have kicked this.
Maybe
Yeah.
400 at the least.
No, he's gonna want something close to 1 million, but
Yeah.
I say 700K goes
700.
to.
All right, that seems reasonable, I guess.
And where does Simon head next year? Does he start in the NHL next season, or is he going to be in the AHL back developing? I'm all for
well,
both.
We'll see.
If he doesn't step up or is not ready, I suggest he goes back to the farm team. All right, and our final player is Rowie Sheenahan, a player that we got from the Detroit Red Wings, who was our third-line centerman in the beginning of the year. I want this guy re-signed. He's speedy. He has depth with Getzel and Kessel when they're on the third line. I think this is going to be a good thing. I think we re-sign him to a 1.5 or 2 million contract, the max for.
Ooh, I don't know about 2 million. I do agree with you. I do think we should re-sign him, but I don't know about 2 million. I say 1.5.
I'm all good for one of those, but I'm mostly worried about is the people that will want pay extensions, like Getzel in years from now.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's yeah. And again, you were talking about this. The mainstream media is kind of pressuring him. But, yeah.
Well, Sprong, whatever we sign him to, I hope it's it's for a good chunk of years for 600,000 or 700, 800, because he's gonna be wanting those millions in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Because when he shows that he can be it, because I feel like Sprong's gonna have a breakout season next year. All right, those are all the guys right now, but when it comes to contracts for years down the road, let's talk about who might need to move this year. Carl Hagelin, number 62, good speed, good penalty killer, has good chemistry with Kessel and Malkin on the second line and sometimes Rust. Do you think we'll trade and get rid of Carl Hagelin this year? Because he makes $4 million a season, and plus if we got rid of him, we would be able to make some space.
Yeah, we'd be able to save money. I say get rid of him, dude. I don't know. 4 million seems a bit too much for what he's working with, but heck, I could be wrong. He might do better this season. I'm not sure.
He's done his job. He's done his job, though.
Yeah.
Carl Hagelin has done amazing things. Like, he's got speed. Let's see what else Hagelin has. He scored that game winner empty netter in Game 6 of Nashville when we won that cup this year. He's a really good penalty killer. But it's going to have to happen. I feel like we're going to have to move some people
soon enough we will. Because, I don't know, dude, 4 million? Ooh.
Who else will want a pay extension? Let me take a look. Who has one? Murray, he's going to be wanting a pay extension in 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh. Let me just keep checking who else. Bassard, we have him for another year. Vegas is paying 50% of his salary. But when it comes to Bassard, do you think we'll be able to afford him next year? Or do you think he'll walk away?
I don't know. Honestly, yeah. I think it will. I think it will.
Well,
I don't know. I just don't think we'll get that best.
A part of me says Bassard will will walk away after next year, most likely, because he will want to raise.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
it's anybody's game. Really.
When it comes to Bassard, I want to see him win a cup next year. I feel like his development was hurt when he got hurt, and his chemistry.
Yeah, and he deserves it. He deserves it.
I want to see Bassard win because we have him for an extra year. It would be nice to see Bassard. Plus, Bassard, a lot of people were criticizing Bassard the way he was playing, but he got hurt before playoffs started. And Bassard...
Yeah, it wasn't exactly his fault.
And Bassard, he came from Ottawa, which plays a defensive style of hockey, a shutdown defensive style. Not Sprong, but Bassard, he'll have a full year this year to get used to a faster play style system. I think Bassard...
Yeah, and hopefully he won't get injured, at least injured badly, and he'll be able to develop a lot more, I think.
Well, he's 30 years old. I feel like Bassard will put up a show next year.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, let me look at my phone. Zach Aston Reese in one more year will want a pay extension. I just don't think he'll get $1 million next year. No.
No, probably not.
Oh boy. Yep, Hagwin's going either way next year, I believe, because he's got one more year left. And he will want a pay extension. Oh shit! I messed up. He makes 5 points, 30 million. He's gonna
5 points.
Wait, I messed up. Let me look at Hagwin. 4 million. I was right. And he's gonna want that doubled, so Hagwin will have to be moved this off season.
Yeah, there's no way we can afford that. That's literally impossible.
Well, I don't think off season we can't get a deal done. I think we will move him at a trade deadline or something.
Because we're not doing that all for one player. Like, it's not that big of a deal, you know what I mean?
So far, our defensemen look like they got good stuff for a few more years. We got Schultz, who has $5 million, which will want a pay extension a couple years. But anyway, getting to the big part is 2 defensemen. One, we're going to start with Matt Hunwick. And I know one thing, people are going to hate me. People hate Matt Hunwick. We saw it because Hunwick was playing sloppy and he would always do bad turnovers. Do you think Hunwick will be with us? Because he's got 2 more years left on his contract. We signed him to a 3-year deal. What do you think with Hunwick? Do you think he'll step up after realizing what he...
He might.
I want him to step up. I think this is going to motivate him to get stronger and will step up. But I feel like they're going to try to move Hunwick. But I would hate to see Hunwick get moved and then playing extremely well in a different team. So I feel like Hunwick will step up. And now for the big defenseman that's got 4 years and makes $7.25 million with Tang. After a rough year coming off an injury, missing 4 to 6 months with a neck injury, what do we do with Tang? Move him or keep him? Because this one's a tough one.
I don't know.
Well, last year we saw we can win without Letang.
True.
Mata,
and your personal opinion is move him, right?
Well, it's a tough one for me because I love Letang. I've been a fan for 10 years. This guy's been my childhood defenseman that's stuck around for, and plus he's the only member left of the 2009 squad besides Crosby and Malkin. So if Letang gets moved, it's gonna hurt. But
yeah, dude. I don't know.
Well, I feel like Letang will have a big step-up season next year, but if things don't go so well, we gotta move him. But his contract is so huge, $7.25 million,
yeah.
And that contract does not end until 2023.
I don't know.
Well, Letang, if he's made this much money for years, I think he should take a pay cut where he gives his money to the young guys half of it, because you can't do that.
Will he do it though? Will he do it? I don't know.
Well, I don't know if he will, because NHL players have been famous for wanting big money and never take a pay cut.
Yeah, I don't. Oh my god. I feel like we'd be betraying him by moving him, dude. I don't know.
Well, he wants to finish his career in Pitt, but after what happened in the playoffs with Tang doing turnovers and missing passes, I feel like it worries me for next season because I want to see Tang win a couple more cups. I want to see him win.
Yeah.
I
Same.
love Tang, but we've already proved we can win without him. So
I don't. Ugh.
well, good old Tang. Oh, and there's one more player that's going to be wanting a pay extension next year is Chad Runil, and he makes 600K. I think he'll walk, not unless we sign him to a 1 million.
Yeah.
All right, moving on from that. Before we discuss some stuff that the team needs, this is going off topic a bit. What about Marc-Andre Fleury after hearing the news he wants to finish his career in Vegas? What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel heartbroken over it?
Kind of and kind of not. I mean, hey, it's his choice if he wants to finish his career in Vegas, and you know that. Hey, Kurt's a Vegas fan, and heck, I'm a Vegas fan, and I mean, if it's his choice, it's his choice. If he wants to finish his career in Vegas, he can do that.
Well, before
I'm not gonna sit here and,
before he wanted to finish his career in Pitt, though. He loves it in Pitt.
Heck, I'm sure there are other players that have changed their mind to want to finish their career in other places. And I know Fleury's a good player, but heck, if he wants to do that, he can do that. It's his choice, and I honestly think it might be for the better.
Let me just think of this. This is the man that trained Matt Murray and made him the man he is today. This is a guy that was so emotional last season for Pens fans because he was part of the dark ages when the Pens were bad and they were danger of relocating. I'm not sure if you know about those days, but Fleury was the last member of those days, and he was basically one of the guys that helped saved it. When it comes to Fleury, he's 33, going to be 34. He's got 2 more years of starting left in him. Plus, Fleury did say this. I thought I was done. I felt too old, but Vegas has given me an opportunity to keep going. So,
and heck, if he really does feel that way, I do think that he should finish his career in Vegas. I think
I want him to come back to
Pitt. Well, and heck, so do I. I'm pretty sure that there's not a single person that doesn't want him to come back to Pittsburgh. But hey, it's his career, and if he really feels that way, I think it would be better for all of us. Because heck, it might do Vegas some good.
I want to see Vegas win a Stanley Cup.
Exactly. So heck, it might do Vegas some good.
But Fleury's got 2 more years of starting left in him, I think, before he has to switch the role to backup. I feel like what Fleury needs to do is train a young goaltender, either from the AHL or a draft pick, and mentor just like he did to Murray. I feel like that will make Vegas
kind of carry on his legacy.
And don't forget about Fleury's a guy that gave up his no-move contract in the expansion draft. We could have lost Murray to Vegas. But if Fleury was to come back after next year because his contract ends, I feel like it would be a way of saying that Pitt was not ready to let go and start a new generation. I think Fleury will be back one day, but years from now. I think he will be to do one last final season or sign him to a day contract to finish as a Penguin.
Yeah. It would be awesome to see him finish his career, but heck, it's his choice, I guess. I don't know. He wants to do it, he wants to do it.
Alright, so moving on to a couple of things. Is that what the Penguins need to get this offseason? Let's start off with something that's the most important for Murray. A backup goaltender. This year's backup goaltender situation was just awful.
Murray and D. Smith,
Well, D. Smith, though, what are we going to do next year? Have D. Smith in the AHL? Keep DeBelvin or Patsy play some games? D. Smith needs to play NHL games next year if he's the backup.
Yeah.
And we can't overuse Murray. But people say, oh, you can put Jari in. Jari is underdeveloped.
Yeah. I don't think he's ready. Oh boy.
He graduated from AHL to become a full-time NHLer. This was supposed to be his year. Miami did not work out, and we waived him after 3 bad starts. Jari was supposed to develop in the AHL this year. His development was hurt, switching back and forward. If Jari's the backup, he can't be sitting on the bench next year the whole time.
Yeah.
He needs to play.
We want him to develop, not to go back a step.
And plus, Jari, I think in a couple of years will be gone. I think he'll want to become a starter of his own. I want to have Jari and Murray. That would be a good generation.
Yeah.
Because we traded our guy that was supposed to back up Murray, who's 19, going 20. The plan was Philip Gustafson was supposed to be Murray's backup years from now, but now that's gone.
I don't know, dude. With D. Smith 675K, I don't know. It's not a good combo. Murray and D. Smith. I just don't see that in my head. No offense to D. Smith at all, but I don't know. That's just not the combo I'd find out in my head.
Well, we can take another gamble risk with another backup goaltender like we did with Niemi. We got Joseph Halak and a couple other guys that are old, but do we really want to take this risk again? Another veteran?
I don't know, dude.
The way
Murray gets paid $3.75 million, and I don't know. It's just a weird combo.
I don't know, but I think the most important part is getting a backup. I'm either in for D. Smith as the backup, Jari develops in the AHL, or Jari backup but plays games.
No. I don't vote for Jari for backup, but I do vote for D. Smith being a backup, dude. I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it, dude. I'm sorry.
Well, something's gotta be done though.
Yeah.
We can't be rotating goaltenders just because they do bad or have a cold streak. We can't be rotating each time. I think Rutherford should have did this. Had D. Smith as the backup this entire time after Niemi was waived. That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
I feel like we would have got past Washington if
probably.
Because Murray was so bad this year with his glove side. That glove worries me, but I feel like it's going to get there. Any final thoughts? What we need? A defenseman. Yes, we need a defenseman.
Because a good defenseman.
I don't know, but I'm going to have to look at it. But we got some decent pieces. We got Justin Schultz. We got Watang, he bounces back. We got Mata, who's going to be developing, but our draft pick this year, we got a draft pick who's a defenseman. I feel like in 2 years will be good, but he's going to have to develop in that farm teams first.
Yeah.
Who's that guy we got today?
The centerman?
No, the defenseman.
Which one? I'm not sure. Got his name.
Check.
Do the story, hang on. Which round did we get him in? You know?
I think second.
Second? Alright. Okay. Let me look at their story real quick. Yeah, what the heck? Alright, let me check. Okay, was it Cal and Addison?
If there's a D, that means
because
I feel like he'll be a good defenseman to replace Chad Reno in 2 years, or Brian Dumick if he's moved one day.
I mean, we'll have to see, but
well, Brian Dumick makes $4-point-something million because he got a pay extension last year. But we'll see. So any final thoughts of the team? Think we'll get most of our guys?
Nothing much, but hey, we're looking okay. Again, like I said before, we're not off to a good start. We're not off to a bad one either. But we'll just see how this season plays out. And heck, I'm just hoping for the best.
Anyway, guys, we'll be doing a Penguins Chat live stream on July 1st. That's when free agency begins and re-signing begins. We'll do a chat and we'll give opinions on the contracts. And I just want to say one last thing. to the media of hockey and the idiotic fans that are saying this about Phil Kessel getting traded, are you honestly that stupid? I hate using these words, but trading a guy that was part of the big reasons why you won the cup, who stepped up after a season where he didn't put up the numbers in the playoffs because he was playing hurt? Really? You want to see Kessel get moved? All the things.
Man, dude, they just they're idiots. I'm sorry, but they're just retards.
They are.
Like,
no, we don't use
they
retards.
are.
We don't use retards.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I don't. Do you like? Sometimes I wonder if they even know what they're talking about. Like, seriously. Like, it's pretty clear that he's a key part to our team. I was talking about Kirk before about this. He's part of a huge equation, and he's a big chunk of that equation. If you take him out, that equation can't be finished. All right. I don't know where they're getting that idea from. Where Kessel needs to go. Like, what are you talking about?
They did the same thing last year, though. They said these Kessel trade rumors start every year.
I know. It's like the world is ending rumors. It never happens. Stop. Just give it up. You're never gonna pressure anybody into doing anything.
And plus, Mike Sullivan and Jimmy Rutherford have said that the relationship is fine. It's been fine.
Yes, I know. They just don't want to listen, dude. They just don't want to listen.
I think they're just trying to. I think these medias and all these analysis that think Kessel will get traded are trying to pressure, like you said, maybe, so Pitt can trade Kessel and maybe not have a chance to win another cup.
They want to see them lose, dude. It's so stupid. Oh my! But the thing is, I know Kessel's strong. He's not gonna. No one's getting pressured into doing anything. They're just wasting their time, and we get to look at them. We get to look at them doing stupid stuff. We just get to roast them for it. Just stop doing it.
Well, one more thing,
they always come up with new excuses every single year.
Well, like, don't forget what they did to Kessel when he was in Toronto. They were calling him like a coach killer, uncoachable. Kessel.
Oh my God.
They
don't know what they're talking about. They literally don't know what they're talking about.
I think they just want to find a way to get Kessel to be hated on so he can get pissed off. And when he was in Toronto, it was just awful how they treated Kessel. It was just awful.
Yeah, and I talked about this before. I wonder if Kessel has depression because of this, dude. If I were Kessel, I'd be so depressed, dude. Everybody just doing that. But don't worry. Kessel's an awesome player. He's a really strong player and a really strong man, like just in general. And I'm getting tired of the media trying to pressure him into doing something he can't do.
The only way I'll see Kessel get moved if the team does not win a Stanley Cup this year. It might be time for a retool, not a rebuild. That's the only time I will say someone big needs to go. Whatever happens, I don't want to lose either Boateng or Kessel, but if I had to pick, I think I'm gonna have to go with Tang. I think
I agree with you on that. I don't even think it's that much of a competition. But
for anyone who calls me a hater on Tang, I do not hate Tang.
Neither do I. Kirk's been a fan. Kirk's been a fan of Tang more than I have.
10 years.
He loves him, dude. Yeah, 10 years. 10 years. He's not a hater. It's the facts. It's the sad truth. Believe me.
It is the sad truth. It is the sad truth. It's the reality of sports. If something does not work out when you don't have playoff success or after you've had success, you gotta do like a retool. You gotta make big choices and moves for players. You have to. But anyway, for these Kessel trades,
and heck, if we want to lose someone big, it's gonna have to be Letang. But that's my final statement about that.
But God, how the media of the NHL is sometimes, just because they did not win up this year, just because they didn't put up the numbers. If we would have won the cup this year, we maybe still said shit and said, "Oh, it's time to move Phil Kessel."
Yeah, like just because they lost doesn't like. How does that justify anything? I think these people actually think that Washington's gonna win another cup. No, they're not.
And you can't be biased. You cannot be biased about Washington. Not be biased.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, there was
I'm not gonna say they're a terrible team. That they've gotten better.
Group hour.
Yeah, heck, sometimes I debate whether they're gonna make it into the playoffs. Kirk thinks that they will, and honestly, I've kind of changed my opinion on that. Yeah, I do think they will. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I'm just questioning myself, like, why are you doing this? After winning a cup, after years of frustration, you're gonna leave Washington. Last thoughts on this?
Your mic's kind of cutting out there, Kirk, but I did hear you say last thoughts. Again, not off to a bad start, not off to a good one either, but we'll just see how it goes. We'll see our final draft picks. We'll kind of analyze the rest of the stuff. Hopefully, the season will go well for us.
Hopefully
Stanley Cup, that'd be awesome.
I just want to say one thing. I just hope we draft a young, good goaltender either this draft.
I hope so.
Because when it's time for Jari to get moved and Murray will be in his 30s years from now, I hope we have a goaltender that will be ready to do this.
Yeah.
Alright, this is another, like I said, we'll see you guys on July 1st for a live stream to see what happens. Kirk out.